Sir has agreed to answer 3 questions. So in case if you have any questions to ask from him for Global Citizen Forum or the event, please go ahead.
My name is Bhadresh Mishra. Namaste. Okay, before Adi Shankaracharya, I think it's in Upanishad, that's why we discuss about the Advait or Ekatmvad. Means it's not Dvait, that's what Advait means. And what Adi Shankaracharya said, means it's just the gap between the Brahma and the life, the Jiv, in Hindi we call. And I think it's called the Maya, isn't it? So how the Global Citizen Forum, like minimizing that gap to make the Advaitwad in real? Because that's where I think it's Mandukya Upanishad explained that it's a difference between the Jiv and the Brahma. Once it become one, that Maya part is gone, and then you start believing in Advaitwad. So question is how the Global Citizen Forum helping to fill that gap. Dhanyawad.
Well, a good question coming from Sharmaji. I expected that.
Madhresh Mishra.
Mishraji. Sorry. As you said, at that point of time, he was not able to completely explain because the science was not developed. So the Maya which you talk about is something which cannot be defined. And that's why it's called Maya. What is between reality and non-reality is where the Maya comes in. What is real, what is not real. So, people were not able to apprehend what is real, what is not real. So when you say Jiv or Jivatma, and you talk of oneness, that Advait, then how do you bridge this gap, as you rightly said? I think the science bridges that gap. Today the science has clarified. That's where the difference between Advait is where it's not a form. It's not a form. That's where the energy part comes in. As you said, the Rupa is not there. So the energy does not have any form. And the matter has a form. And now there is an equation which has been developed, which equated energy and mass, that they can be converted to each other. The mass can be converted into energy, which becomes the atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb, and all that. And the energy could be converted into mass. That becomes the universe. But that's why the universe is very hollow. So, as I said, I'll also go to the doctors. If you look at the human body, previously we thought that the body is made of blood, the blood and the bone and all these things. But people have now realized that that's not true. The body is made of cells. So new technology has come, what is called cell therapy. All the future medical science is moving towards cell therapy. And what is cell? Cell again is something which is hollow. That's why the Buddha came with the philosophy of Shunya. So if you look at the distance between the earth and the sun, what we call space, it's Shunya, it's not void. If it was void, the sun rays could not travel to the earth. For the rays to travel, there has to be some matter. Otherwise, the rays cannot travel. So the difference, what you are talking, which was not explained at that time, at Adi Shankaracharya time, because of this technology not being developed, because the human body was also not known, is now being possible to talk about it. That's why when you talk of this cloud-based technology, what I said earlier, is all based on that. The waves. That's how what you see is what you are able to run your iPhones, which is there. So a lot of things which are not explained at that time is today explainable. But the fact doesn't go away. By explaining it, the fact remains. That's why I said earlier that science has now brought Advait in reality. At that time, Advait was difficult to explain. That was left as Maya. But now it is possible. through the science. And people are explaining this. And I think that's where the software people have realized that. And there, if you look at the software equation, it's all 0, 1, 0, 1. But who invented 0? Again, coming from the Indian philosophy, which is there. So our philosophy is very scientific. And today science is proving what was said earlier, which Adi Shankaracharya knew but could not explain, because people won't understand. So that's why he talked of Maya. But today it is possible to do that. And that is where the research is going on. And that's why Advaita is becoming something which is very acceptable by the scientists. The religion cannot be, the God cannot be. So if you say there is a God sitting somewhere, it is not accepted scientifically. But if you say that everything is manifestation of God, then it is science. Then there is no difference between it is something which is explained by science. And ultimately the science which is the proof. And today we have moved to the science to a level that we are using satellites to create industry. The Netflix you see today, a company who started only a few years back, has value today to $150 billion, changing the whole way the cinemas and TVs are being watched. People are moving away from television because you don't need that. Everything can be on your phone. So technology is doing it. What the Vedas could not explain at that time, today it can be explained, which also proves that Vedas are right. While the other, you can't prove that in Bible. You can't do in other things. So I think we have a great responsibility today to explain this to the world in the scientific manner, so that they can accept it, the young people can be accepted, and this can be taught. Because unless you can teach it in a logical manner, it will not be accepted. So we are planning to make a series of movies and documentaries on this. I think India movie industry has not done justice to our society. If you look at US, today the Hollywood has created movies which has explained what's happening in space. They have even created space wars which are there. So I think the Indian movie industry, that's why we started a fund to fund movies on this. That's why I made Oh My God also. Because Oh My God was made to show that these religious leaders have defined God in their own way. So some of you must have seen Oh My God, and it's a satire. But it's a satire which gives a message. And the bigger message came after that by Mr. Hirandani, whom I knew, and he came to me. And he said, I want to make a movie like Oh My God. So I said, you have to go one step higher than Oh My God. So in Oh My God, we said that you love God, don't fear God. In PK, which came later, which was a bigger hit,